Good morning. Thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm Jamie Warren in for Megan today. We do begin with wildfire watch this morning as multiple wildfires burn in Arizona. Valley first responders rescuing at least 2 people from trails over the weekend. Election officials tell us it could be 10 to 13 days until we actually see the final results. It's still dark out there. We do want to say good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jamie Warren. Can you believe that it's already mid-October? I couldn't when I looked at the calendar today. You can't even enter the freeway at this time. So bringing you closer here to the maps to show you some alternates, you might need to take Happy Valley Road. 2.7 inches have already fallen in Flagstaff so far since October. And lots of snow means potentially snowy and icy conditions on the roads, making things dangerous for drivers. This, however, on the I-17, I have not seen before. And this is why. Come on this way. I want you to bear with me for just a moment as we walk about a block now. We're heading towards the I-17 underpass. We are not used to experiencing 110 plus degree days this many days in a row. People who knew the family in this house arriving here on scene, trying to get a hold of police and their loved ones. It's a loaded question, but when you look back at that time, what is your fondest memory? Are Nick and Kaylee on the nice list this year too?
Well, really, that's something that I should take up with them.
Maybe send him something. Send him some milk and cookies, okay?
White chocolate macadamia nut.
Did you hear that? Have you guys started your shopping yet?
No, I haven't.
Either have I. In my household, like November is super busy, so I wait until December as we preview Merry Main Street, which kicks off tonight. This weather has been described as unprecedented. Right. We're usually in the 90s this time of year. When we first spoke with you at 11 o'clock, we saw that smoke that was just dangerously close to some of those RV homes in the area. We had 76 days. So if it feels hotter than usual this year, you're not imagining things.
Frustrated. I was angry.
Judith Cornell tells me when she picked up her 5th grade daughter from Odyssey Preparatory Academy in Goodyear at the start of the school year, she was concerned with what she saw.
She was so overheated that her body was starting to turn red. She said, no, we were outside, we had to run a lap. And then after we ran our lap, we could sit, there's a tree in the back and we could sit under the tree, but we have a lot of kids in our class, and so where I had to sit, there was no shade.
She says she called the school but didn't get a clear answer on what their PE policy was. So she sent this email to the State Board for Charter Schools wanting to file a complaint and was told the board can only address legal violations, stating they do not have the authority over school-level decisions such as inclement weather policies.
I started doing some research, and that's where I found your article.
Cornell is referring to my reporting back in 2019.
Get a drink and then come back to your hoop.
Looking into what schools do on extreme heat days to keep kids safe. At the time, I reported that many schools do keep kids inside when the heat index reaches a certain level, but there is no state law requiring that. I followed up with the Arizona State Board of Education and found out that's still true. The only statute on the books is that districts have to enforce policies put in place by a private entity, like the Arizona Interscholastic Association, which manages youth sports.
It's just not fair. They can't advocate for themselves, so we as parents have to say something, and when something is wrong, we have to stand up for them.
According to our ABC 15 meteorologist, the day Cornell's daughter had PE outside, the recorded high in Phoenix was 110 degrees, although Cornell says at 3 p.m. in Goodyear, the temperature was about 107. My name is Jamie Warren. I'm a reporter with ABC 15. I called the school and was told leaders would not do an interview, but they sent me their PE policy, which states during their 45-minute class, students rotate between the inside gym, the outdoor playground, and the outside track, and that they prioritize keeping students in shaded areas. A spokesperson said they couldn't speak to the exact spot versus sun exposure in which Cornell's daughter was during that portion of the class. But she says she wants to know why there's no legal requirement, like the heat safety ordinances recently passed in Phoenix and other parts of our state, giving protections for outdoor workers.
It's really baffling that we don't have something like that for our children. I really appreciate you guys being here to help get this out there, because parents need to know that we can do something.
Cornell tells me that she has since taken her daughter out of that school and into a different one that better fits her needs. But I wanted to get some answers and ask who is in charge. Why is there no state law? The Board of Education told me that it would be up to the governor's office, the Department of Education, or the Arizona Department of Health Services to potentially pursue possible legislation. When I asked the governor's office if that was something Governor Katie Hobbs would consider pursuing, I was referred to her recently created heat preparedness plan that gives updated recommendations to schools on how to handle extreme heat. But I also reached out to State Superintendent Tom Horn, who told me decisions such as these are typically made at the local level. However, he added, quote, I would consider supporting legislation that appealed to me and that districts and charters find reasonable to implement. If you want to see what your school's policy is, there's an online database with over 3,000 districts, or I'm told that every school is required to post that policy on their website. We've put those resources along with some extended statements from all of the parties involved in this story on our website right now at abc15.com. In a line of glowing headlights, we found Louise, who had been sitting in her truck since midnight, and it was clear the wait would be worth it. Why did you want to make sure that you got a turkey this year?
I wanted to make sure I got one so that I could feed my son and his girlfriend that are homeless. I wanted to make sure I had something.
As the sun rose after a long 8 hours, she waved at us, turkey stowed away. Every car in this line, a family trying to make ends meet.
My family, they usually donate. I mean, they donate, they volunteer, and this year we couldn't. It was very hard.
This is Rebecca. And you heard that right. Her family is usually the ones dressed in the green vests, waving flags and loading up food. But her husband's sudden heart attack last week changed that. He's recovering, and now she's receiving food here for the very first time. Ever think that you would be in this position?
No, I didn't. I never thought that.
Yeah.
You know, because we've always financially been able to afford everything, and now we can.
Yeah.
But I'm so thankful.
St. Mary's Food Bank saw a record number of people last year, and this year they're on track to break that record. They attribute the increase to high prices and skyrocketing rent, forcing families to make some tough choices. So as we approach the holiday, and you see the calls for donations,
Thank you.
know that it's more than just a turkey. It's a family you're helping hold together this Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everybody, for volunteering and for donating. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I want to thank the families that we spoke with today for sharing their story, because we know that it is not easy. And as I mentioned earlier, there is still time to donate now until Wednesday. You can come to their Phoenix location or their Surprise location to drop off a turkey. If you don't have a turkey or you would rather just do something online, $20 is all it takes to put a turkey on a table for a family this Thanksgiving. For now, reporting live in Phoenix, Jamie Warren, ABC 15 Arizona.